This chart shows the official national inflation rate trending downward toward the 3% mark. According to the headline statistics, price increases have largely stabilized. But if you look at your own bank statements, that number completely contradicts reality. The average new car rolls off the lot with a sticker price near $50,000. Grabbing fast food on the way home, which used to be a cheap convenience, now requires navigating app menus just to avoid paying luxury prices. We measure that official rate using the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. Economists gather up a theoretical basket of everyday goods and services and track the weighted cost of that entire basket over time. Look at this weighted CPI basket. Because energy makes up a massive portion of household spending, when volatile categories like fuel prices drop, they pull the entire national average down. That downward gravity actively masks the steadily rising costs of everyday essentials. The government economists aren't faking the math. The calculations are accurate. The disconnect exists because the tool they use to measure the economy completely fails to capture the modern consumer's actual financial reality. The data inside that basket is collected and calculated every month by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. When tracking prices over decades, they run into a major hurdle. Products get better over time. To account for this, the Bureau relies on a calculation known as a Hedonic quality adjustment. The premise is straightforward. If a television or a computer stays roughly the same price year over year, but features a sharper screen or a faster processor, you are technically getting more product for your money. So the statisticians record that improvement as a price drop in the official data. Take the original iPhone from 2007. A modern phone performs the exact same basic function, making calls and browsing the internet, but its processing power and camera capabilities are hundreds of times greater. According to the formula, this massive leap in capability pushes the adjusted price of the phone drastically down. But you can't actually pay that lower, mathematically adjusted price. If you try to save money by using a 15-year-old phone, you quickly find that hardware cannot be repaired, and mandatory software updates render the old device entirely unusable. The official spreadsheet registers a steady deflation in consumer tech, while you are forced to pay a higher absolute price at the register just to maintain a baseline level of modern connectivity. That same statistical detachment applies to the heaviest and most expensive item in the CPI basket, housing. Tracking real estate is notoriously difficult because a home serves two distinct purposes. It is a necessary shelter that you consume daily, and it is a speculative financial asset that fluctuates in the market. The Bureau only wants to measure the cost of the shelter. To separate the two, they use owner's equivalent rent. Instead of tracking actual sales, they ask owners to estimate hypothetical rent. Because rent contracts lock in prices, this slow-moving official data routinely lags months behind the realities of a volatile housing market. Treating a house like a theoretical rental also ignores the actual out-of-pocket expenses required to maintain one. Surging property taxes, rising insurance premiums, and fluctuating mortgage interest rates are all entirely excluded from this calculation. By converting the largest purchase of a person's life into a hypothetical rental agreement, the official inflation math entirely bypasses the crushing financial weight of modern homeownership. Government measurement blind spots only explain half the gap. The rest comes from corporations actively obscuring the true cost of their products. Watch this box of cereal on the shelf. The price tag hasn't changed, but the product is physically shrinking. By quietly reducing the volume of household staples, companies raise the actual cost of your food without triggering an obvious price hike at the register. Then there is the intentional decline in quality. Manufacturers use cheaper materials to maintain their margins and increasingly lock standard features, like remote start on your car, behind mandatory recurring monthly subscriptions. Even the sticker price itself is no longer fixed. Hundreds of data brokers continuously collect your personal shopping habits, feeding that information into algorithmic dynamic pricing models. These algorithms assess exactly how much they can extract from you at any given moment. A busy professional rushing through a drive-thru will be shown a higher price for the exact same meal than someone with the time to navigate complex daily reward menus in the company's app. Through shrinking portions, degraded materials, and personalized algorithmic upcharges, corporate stealth tactics actively inflate our daily living expenses far beyond anything the headline rate captures. Between the slow-moving government statistics and hyper-targeted corporate pricing, the economic concept of a single average consumer no longer exists. A prospective homebuyer facing current interest rates experiences a drastically different reality than someone who locked in a low mortgage years ago. A retiree shopping midday sees different prices than an exhausted parent ordering groceries through a delivery algorithm. This diagram illustrates a personal budget basket. To understand your actual cost of living, you have to abandon the national CPI and calculate a personal inflation rate, isolating only your mandatory recurring expenses: housing, groceries, and utilities. To plug the drain on that basket, you have to audit your accounts. Identifying and canceling the hidden, auto-renewing digital and hardware subscription fees will immediately reclaim lost purchasing power. Next, you have to bypass retail illusions at the grocery store. Ignore the deceptive static sticker price on the shelf and buy strictly based on the calculated price per ounce to fight shrinkflation. The government will continue to celebrate an official inflation rate approaching 3%. True financial stability requires understanding the math they leave out and aggressively defending the money in your own wallet.